To Down the Rabbit Hole with Oz and Jesse. How are you doing, everybody? And tonight we're going to be talking about demons and dolls. Demons and dolls. That is tonight's topic. Different things that have been possessed by demons, and they are inanimate objects, obviously. Is there anything you want to add to that? Or
no, I mean, I think we're specifically looking at the ones that are the most popular and the ones that have had movies made about them, and then but mostly these dolls being not like spirits or whatever, but demonic possessed. Like, you know, everyone has a theory, but this is
so like my mother-in-law.
That's probably true for most people. But going over the stories of them and how these dolls have left its mark on culture, on our pop culture.
So if you're watching right now, we are on YouTube, we are on Abstract, we are on X, and that is at Ozthecryptogoat, all lowercases, no spaces. So don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching on Abstract, make sure that you follow us. And obviously the same goes for Twitch and X as well. And whatever platform you choose, we appreciate you, but we are trying to build our YouTube, so if you can go over to the YouTube and hit the subscribe button, like and engage, much appreciated. All right, let's get into it.
All right, our first doll, you want to pull up the picture?
Yeah, which one is it?
Annabelle, because she's the most popular doll. And what people don't understand is she does not look like she does in the movies. Annabelle is very much a Raggedy Ann doll that has been said that it is possessed by a demon. So I didn't realize that this doll isn't as old as I thought it was, this whole story. So this starts in 1970 when a student was given this large Raggedy Ann doll as a birthday gift. And her roommate just noticed that the doll was moving on its own. It was like started subtly and appearing in different positions, not how they left it, not where they left it. It would be in different rooms in the apartment, like weird stuff, like just randomly doing weird things. It even escalated to the point where they would find little pieces of paper that were like, please help me, or help me, all over the house. The messages, everyone was like freaking out. So it intensified to the fact where people were getting scratched when they came too close around the chest. People could feel someone pulling on them anytime they were too close to Annabelle. They even had a medium who said that the doll...
A medium? Does that mean they're like...
No, they're
not
a
large
steak.
shirt size.
They're not a steak.
Medium
they're
well.
No.
Okay.
So like
just wanted to
like
clarify for the chat. A medium, guys.
Like a seance.
So a psychic seance.
I have my
one of those. They have like the little finger bells, and they dance with the pointy shoes.
I don't know. When I think of seance and psychics, I think of like the big crystal ball, and everyone's holding hands and saying weird things. Or maybe that's just because
everybody thinks I have a crystal ball. They're like, Oz, can you look into your crystal ball and tell us the future every single day? And I'm just like, you know what? Every time you ask me what's in the crystal ball, it gets a little bit fuzzier every time.
No, that's definitely not.
Unless you donate, obviously. If you donate, it gets really clear. Either. It's like it polishes it up,
Okay, so
I'm just messing.
The medium claims that the doll is possessed by a spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins, who had died on the property several years before. And feeling sad, they gave the spirit permission to stay with them. When the paranormal activity escalated, the original owners were called in. They concluded that the doll wasn't inhabited by a child spirit, but which they said doesn't possess objects, but was being manipulated by a demonic entity, which means they were just manipulating the doll, making it like, oh no, I'm a cute little girl stuck inside a doll, don't get rid of me, when it really was just something horrible and demonic. Because that's like the case with most things. They pretend to be a little girl. Like, oh, I'm a little girl, you know,
Little
don't
girls are the devil.
They aren't, but that's how
Little
they
girls.
used it. Anyways, because
My mama said little girls are the devil.
no, her activity got worse and worse, and then they
So,
put her in the box.
Activity, you mean like
She was physically okay. So she was either physically lashing out, knocking things over. She was never where she was supposed to be. They'd put her in one room, they'd find her in another.
you know, there's this story I have, and we had this like tiki face thing, and me and my friends like growing up, and there were a couple of girls that were in the house, you know, my friends' girlfriends at the time, and we were pretending that this thing was alive and it was doing things and it would move, and we would turn it upside down and put it in different places. They'd wake up in the morning and be like right next to them on the pillow. It was
so messed up.
so like I could imagine that there could be some human interaction with this, like
Everyone just messing with each other.
yeah, like I mean it's all fun and games, like it's kind of normal for people to play tricks on each other, so like
Absolutely.
I give that a little bit of validity here.
I mean,
but
I could see where you're going with that, but according to these people who experienced it, from visitors and everything, the scratching, the feeling like they're overheating to where they're gonna pass out. Like, I mean, that's like moving something. What do you want? Like moving something, that kind of stuff, that's a whole different ball game. Like scratching people, these people really believe these things happen. So is it in their head? I mean, how do you fake some scratch marks on your back?
So here's the thing. Okay. This is what makes it valid for me. Okay. Ed and Lorraine Warren. Okay. They work with the Catholic Church. They were ordained ministers with the church. And if you know anything about the churches, they do not allow you to do basically like exorcisms and things like that without approval from
Correct.
The Vatican, right? So you have to have approval from the church. Somebody has to come forward and say, hey, there's some validity here. It has to be proven that there is something, because they do take into account, you know, for mischief and mental health and different things like that, right?
Well, they didn't always used to do that. That's fairly new.
Right, but they were, at that time, they were doing that. Okay, so when Ed and Lorraine got involved, that was the case. So the fact that the church got involved and were like, this is serious enough to do something about it, is what makes me feel like there's some validity to what happened, because there had to be some type of thing that they saw in the doll that, you know, made them take it. Otherwise, they just thought it was a collector's item, and they were like, you know what, we could totally just take this thing and we'll put it in this little case and it'll become very valuable. But I don't see that.
It's not valuable. It's terrifying.
It's very valuable. It was stolen.
It was stolen. That was actually debunked. That never happened.
No,
it never happened. But people wanted to
see.
This is another
and
thing.
Here
people
comes the
play
conspiracies.
Pranks. No, but people play pranks, and I looked into that because I thought that too, and I was like, well, that's not great. I don't like dolls. I've always made that very clear. I hate dolls. Dolls are creepy. Their eyes follow you. It's odd. Like, I never owned dolls growing up. But the fact that they were so scared of it, it literally says, warning, positively do not open. The box gets taken. She does not get taken out of it.
Okay, so here's my thing is, if Annabelle is this supernatural doll thing, right? And they decide, oh, we're going to take it on tour and we're going to show it off to people. And
yeah, because people are weird and they like being around that.
Right, and I get it. But who's to say if this thing that literally, when they brought it to Louisiana, the plantation burnt down, okay? And I have a clip. We're going to watch the clip here in just a minute. But what I want to say is if it did go missing and it was gone, would you believe the official story that, oh, we totally found it, it was never lost? No, I would. First thing I would do is I would go get a Raggedy Ann doll, stuff it in the box, and say, look, we found Annabelle. There she is. For all we know, Annabelle is lurking in the shadows behind your bed, in your closet right now, prying from around the corner, looking to menace society right now, for all we know. As far as I'm concerned, I do not trust the official story. I think she could potentially be out there like Chucky, roaming around, doing little things and whatnot. I refuse to believe the idea that she's just, oh, she went missing. Oh, no, she's back. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You can't prove that one way or another.
Either way, I choose to believe to look over my shoulder because Annabelle's down the rabbit hole over there, okay?
But hear me out then. Okay, so by that logic, maybe she never even left and it was all a publicity stunt and it wasn't the real doll, but because people will buy anything and people are delusional and they love this creepy kind of stuff, they could have just been faking it.
That makes more sense. Except for the videos that I found while she went on tour. Some YouTubers went and they opened the box and were allowed to like touch.
That's impossible.
So we're gonna watch the video.
Because then it's not the real box. There's just no way.
You're not real, man.
None of us are real, technically.
All right, so let's start with this, okay? Let's give this a little gander here. I'm gonna put my headphones on so I can. Or do you want to hear it?
Drop my stuff.
Because I already heard it.
Okay. All right. Make sure it's on the screen.
So you can just put this up to your ear like this and take a little listen. And so let's listen to this. This is from YouTube. These guys are freaking hilarious, by the way.
Can they see it?
Yeah, they can see the. So it's right here. Okay. So let's take a little listen.
It's recently too. What happened in New Orleans?
What happened?
Fam, they moved the Annabelle doll. Did you see that? They took the Annabelle doll off the real case and they're doing a tour with it.
Oh shit. They brought it there?
Yes, and the first one was Louisiana.
Oh my god.
The warden literally told that person, this is the most dangerous thing we have at our museum. You must be sick in the head if you want to do a tour with it.
And they're doing a tour.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
look at this.
He's doing that then.
Fam, he has holy water and a prayer beside him, and the Annabelle doll is right in that black thing.
Oh my god.
And then you see him
bro.
every time they have to do this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you said a lot of like the were like buried and stuff like that.
There's a lot of that were
Fam, right after the Annabelle doll left, two things happened in New Orleans that was really big. One was the plantation caught on fire.
Oh shit.
One of the longest standing plantation houses burned. I saw a video where people are saying when they took pictures of the fire, there would be silhouettes everywhere, ghosts. And I'm like, yo, that makes sense because if people died there, so boom, if you see right here, zoom in on the circles, the ancestors.
Damn, so right away they brought the doll into the fire. That's crazy.
The Nottoway plantation started burning.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You see all these silhouettes like actual like ghosts, fam. No, and just recently too, what happened in New Orleans?
What happened?
Fam, they moved the Annabelle doll. Did you see that? They took the Annabelle doll.
Okay.
You want a real answer to that? Because I got a better answer than the doll.
Okay, tell me.
What are the history of these huge plantations that have been around for over 100 years, and what kind of apparitions or ghosts would be lurking there wanting to set it on fire? Let's go back in history a little bit.
Master sir, please, master sir. And
So
he'd
if
be like,
anyone
go
wanted-
pick my cotton.
If
He's like,
anyone
I'm
wanted-
gonna voodoo the ghost of Annabelle on you.
If anybody wanted to burn it down, that's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is I want to burn it all down.
Well, that's
I'm
a
with
little
it.
different.
Let's leave the government shut down. Let's just leave it that way. Anyway, let's not get too political on that.
No.
But yes, so the plantation did burn down, and also I believe it was 12 inmates escaped from prison
And that I don't know.
the same time. So let's pull that one up
Oh
here.
my gosh.
So the rabbit hole gets deep, chat. All right, the rabbit hole is deep. So they're moving the Annabelle doll to the French Quarter. He's blessing it and praying over it. Right, this is their little ritual thingy that they're doing. Right, and that's his little prayer. He's got to read. He's got it written down so he doesn't forget. just like Jesse. She got
Most gracious Virgin Mary, thou who was crushed the head of the serpent, protect us from vengeance from the evil one. We offer prayers, supplications, sufferings, and good works to thee, so that thou may purify them, sanctify them, and present them to thy Son.
I'm gonna open up the case.
So,
You're gonna quickly,
Annabelle
I mean quick.
in the case, right?
Grab it and put it in.
This is obviously not the real Annabelle.
It's Annabelle is worn looking, not bright,
Right.
and
So this is a regular.
They
this
said they can't
video
see.
right here. You guys can't.
Close it
Oh,
up fast.
sorry. Let's go back
Close it up
to.
quick.
So look, he's blessing it. We saw him blessing it, right? And then this is the Annabelle doll. They're supposedly are moving. That is not the real Annabelle.
it's not. It's that
What
red.
happens
That
with
hair
that?
is too red.
Yeah, and they move it into this other box. This is, I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a haunted house or something.
It's all right.
That's not the real doll. There,
In the name of the Father,
in the
Son,
other
and Holy
video we
Ghost.
just watched.
Hail Mary,
that
full of
was
grace, the
actual
Lord is with thee.
video.
Blessed art thou
You know what's
amongst
crazy
women,
is
and blessed
I-
is the
Getting
fruit
one
of
that
thy
I
womb,
had, yeah.
Jesus.
I had a
Holy Mary,
raggedy
Mother
man
of God,
and Andy
pray
doll
for us sinners,
growing up.
now and at the hour of our
My
death.
parents had.
Amen.
And
Yeah?
one year for Halloween,
Let me see your hands
my
again.
sister and I dressed up as Raggedy Ann.
Yeah, okay. And now she's
That's
transferred.
weird.
Well, my parents always
One
chose it.
time.
You just gotta wash
Now
it.
she's transferred over.
It's actually holy water.
And we're going to keep her in there temporarily.
Do you
It's
remember
not
when Lorraine
that
Warren said this about the
Raggedy
Annabelle doll?
Don't
What?
ever touch
That's
any.
Raggedy Ann.
And if you do, let me know.
It's a long video.
This is the
Yeah,
worst
so
thing.
that's the actual.
That doll.
But I guess some people forgot about
That's
that
not
because
it.
she's on tour right now.
Right?
So they took her to New Orleans, and why does a plantation house from
There's no-
1859 burn down after?
No.
So
This
here's the
mansion was
thing.
about 53,000 square
What happened
feet
in
with
1859 on
64
that little
rooms,
plantation
and it
there,
burns
my
down
friend?
after Annabelle
tell
decides
me.
to visit the city. Fire is
Slavery.
still
Well,
under
hold on.
investigation,
Well,
so
yeah,
you
we
could-
know that, but let's.
There's
rewind.
more things at play than a doll.
Is that
and it burns
Let me
down
tell
after
you.
right? But
If I was
that is not the actual doll. This is the one
So
that was
then-
supposed to be on
so if
tour.
it's still in New Orleans and nothing's ever happened because they kept it in the box, why would the fires? That doesn't sound right.
I think they took a fake doll on tour.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why they're like,
But-
oh, we lost it to cause hysteria because people
Right.
are dumb.
So if there's like a spirit or something, and there's supposed to be like a legion of demonic entities attached.
I
to
can believe
Annabelle.
that.
It's called Legion, and if you ask it its name or whatever, it identifies itself as like thousands of entities, right? Who's to say that a spiritual force couldn't attach itself to this doll just based off of the rhetoric behind it and everything that they're doing? It could have created a whole new entity, or not created, but a new entity could have latched onto it. Who knows? They could have done some kind of ritual thing to it. Who knows, right?
Demons don't like other demons.
That's not true, because Legion is one that possesses, like Judas was possessed
That's-
by Legion, right?
There's
Which is
no actual
right, but if you go off
structure
of
to
biblical,
that.
right, but
But that's the problem.
it doesn't have to be one entity. People can be possessed, and objects can be possessed by more than one entity. Okay.
No,
Yes, read your Bible.
no.
In the Bible, it states that there was a man that was he was full of demons, and Jesus cast out the demons and sent them into a herd of pigs because there were so many demons. They went into all the pigs,
Well,
and the
those
pigs
pigs
ran
didn't deserve it.
into the sea and drowned themselves.
Poor pork chop.
I'm just saying that
No,
this is
it doesn't make any sense. Take the Bible out. Explain it to me.
there.
Take the Bible
There's more-
out. Explain it to me.
It's a spiritual entity. It's not like it's taking up physical real
Because there's
estate.
a difference between demon, spirit, and
Haven't
ghost
you-
if you see it that way.
Haven't you seen people okay, so there were these people that I interacted with, and I'll tell this full story later on. Now is not the time and the place, but I'm going to breadcrumb you guys a little bit right now. This is part of the breadcrumb trail that I am leaving for you guys. But there was this man and he would talk, and sometimes he would talk really hard like this, and then and
So he went from Elmo to Louis Armstrong.
yeah,
Okay,
he
got
was
it.
like, I see skies are green,
And now you're just Schwarzenegger.
plantations too, I whip them too.
Don't sing.
All right, just me and you, and I think to myself. Okay, I'll stop singing. What a wonderful world.
I have to hear this like live. Yeah. Please
So-
feel sorry for me.
This guy was possessed by multiple entities, and each one of these entities that he had in him had a different ability. One of them was this,
Schizophrenia.
I mean, if that's what you want to scientifically call it, but I seen it in a way where God showed me through my path and my walk and my journey that there was something more than that.
Take the Bible out of it. And then there's no argument anymore.
And that's, I mean, you can label it as whatever you want, but here's the thing is we have to have an open mind that there are some things that science cannot explain.
Well, clearly, or we wouldn't be doing this.
Exactly. So tell me when I can unmute. What do you mean unmute? So
Unmute what? Are we muted?
I don't know. But basically the
Oh, he's talking about your horrible singing. Now I know what he's talking about.
my God.
You are correct.
You're not allowed to mute
say
me.
that.
Okay. You
I
have
get
to
it.
watch
I
the
can't
whole
mute,
show.
but you mute for me.
Okay, so we have to understand that yes, we can put a scientific explanation on everything, okay? And we can look at it from a logical perspective, but we have to, especially with these things that we're talking about, that we're looking into, we need to have an open mind, and we need to start, in my personal opinion, I think we should blend science with spirituality. I think that they go hand in hand. Because we have the separation of church and state and all these things, right? That's a no-no, right? But I do believe that they are similar, one and the same. Yes, we have physics, but there are things that defy the laws of physics. You know, there are things that we can give it this label, and that's how we can describe it and give it away for our puny little brains to understand. But there are just some things out there that we cannot explain. No matter what scientific explanation you want to put on it, for me, in my life, in my experiences, I have come to find that yes, there is versions of people who are mentally unwell and they are schizophrenic. And then there are other people that are possessed by demons and they are granted powers because of those demonic entities that are within them. And that's what I'm referring to with this guy. This is how I knew that he was possessed by demons and that he was not schizophrenic, because the different personalities or whatever that he had, they gave him abilities that no human could do. And you ever saw the movie Split? Remember? It was the Unbreakable.
I remember the movie.
And basically the beast, right, had this special abilities and stuff. I believe that those are demonic forces that actually possess people, that give them abilities. And then I believe there are people that are just unwell and they have split personalities. But I believe that the difference is that when you are given the ability to speak perfect Latin and you never spoke Latin before in your life, that is one thing that the Catholic Church uses to determine whether or not something is just a person with mental illness or someone that's actually possessed by a demon.
Okay. Or maybe someone has access to more of their brain than we do.
I mean, that's possible.
Because you could remember, like, they've even said we could have memories of a past life, hence why we don't get the full access to our brain, because we're not allowed to have it. Our brain can only function at 20 to 30% at max. That's if you're super, super smart.
Gen X says Mark 5'9". You wanna look that one up? Should we?
I don't have the computer.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull that one up right now. Mark 5:9. I believe that is the demons in the man. So I have actually read every page in the Bible.
So have I. We both went to Christian school.
Well, most people who went to
We
Christian
got
school
tested
never
on
actually.
it.
Okay, so here it is. And this is from the King James Version, Mark 5:9. And he asked him, "What is thy name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, for there are many."
If you believe the Bible, right?
I do believe the Bible.
I don't.
And you're entitled to have that opinion. But those of you who don't believe in the Bible, I would encourage you to read it. And as you read it, reach out to God and say, "I would like for you to reveal yourself to me," and he will, and you will see that it is real.
Okay, I'm not having a Bible lesson with you today.
I'm just saying.
And the reason that we aren't allowed to use our full capacity of our brain, we have no idea. But as of now, most people don't ever use more than 20%, and only the high elite use a little bit higher percentage. But for whatever reason, our bodies cannot actually process using our brain at 100% capacity. And I think there's what is it? They think that we would be telepathic or whatever that case. There's a block that we're just only allowed to use bits and pieces of each part of our brain to answer that question.
And I agree with that. And I think that that is a real explanation for some cases. And in some cases, I believe that there is a more likelihood of a demonic possession. And there's a list of things that, the church
That's my
for.
whole issue is the church.
And I'll tell you this,
creating
I do not
this demonic possession thing to make experiments out of people, or to be these are the same people who are like, mental health isn't real, you need God, when they really just needed medication.
And I agree with that. But I think that there's also something else that is real out there that can't be explained.
Possible.
How do you explain the spirit box thing?
I believe that ghosts are real.
Right. And I believe that I don't believe that all of them are ghosts. I think that some of them are demons, which are basically the fallen angels, and whatever you want to call it. Like in any religion, right? First of all, I'm not religious. Okay. I just understand that there's something bigger out there that we can't begin to understand. I do not believe in church as a religion. I think that most churches and the people that are in churches are very hypocritical and are probably some of the worst people, and I do not find myself equally yoked with them because they have these righteous blinders on, and they refuse to see the truth because they think they're holier than thou. So I do not find myself having church with them in a building. I do not believe God is in a building. The best church I ever had was with my grandfather. We used to feed the homeless every Sunday from 1983 to 2007. Every single Sunday, never missed one. And one time, my grandfather, it was just me and him, and on a Sunday, we went down to the liquor store. We grabbed a couple 40 ounces of malt liquor and went to the park. Just me and him. I was 21 at the time. This was much later on. And we just sat down with some of the homeless people there. And we said, "Hey, you guys want to share a beer with us?" And we passed around the 40, and we were just sitting there talking, and we were just fellowshipping with one another, telling our past stories and things that we've been through, our struggles. We prayed for them, and that was the best church I ever went to. It was helping people, even with just a beer as a way to open it up. And nowhere in the Bible does it say you can't have a beer. I don't understand where all these Christians...
if you believe the Bible, he turned water into wine.
Exactly.
And that's lit. Just saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's the kind of God I want to have.
If someone could do that in front of me, I'm like, I'd be a believer. But
I turn water into wine. I just add a little bit of fruit and sugar to it.
That's not how that happened.
That's how I do it.
You're done preaching to me now.
I'm just saying,
I get it why you guys have to believe what you do. It gives you purpose. It gives you something that's greater than yourself to explain things you don't understand. I totally get it. But there are things that just don't make sense because they don't make sense.
Right. But according to Mark 5:9, he calls him Legion, for there are many. And Legion is apparently what is in Annabelle. Okay? At least what I've come to find. So let's finish watching this clip.
Oh, it's so long.
Annabelle decides to visit the city. The fire is still under investigation, so you could call it a creepy coincidence, but if you watch the Conjuring and Annabelle movies, you will know how evil she truly is. But that's not the only weird thing that happened over there. 10 inmates escaped from a prison shortly after.
So these are the inmates
the way
that
they did it, they like escaped from a wall behind the toilet. This is not
now
even
what she says is a little hyperbolic, like, oh, only a doll could fit through there.
She could have helped them. And guess where she's at now? San Antonio, Texas. I'll be praying for you all.
Can we also point out that when these fires happened, everyone was angry, the world is divided, and these were representations of ugly history, of ugly US history,
and
I don't think one is connected to the other.
Someone could have literally just gone out and said, hey, Annabelle is out of her cage, let's go light something on fire because it'll go viral. You know, people are crazy. Okay, I'm just saying, but maybe it was the spirits that were let out from Annabelle that caused someone to do such a thing. Me personally, I think it was just somebody was like, hey, we should totally set this plantation on fire because
the history that it holds.
Fuck these people. And two, oh, we can blame it on Annabelle.
That's what I would do.
That's what I would do too.
But right, we don't know, but that the most likely scenario, the history that those plantations have, they probably deserve to be burned. Not saying that anybody should have got hurt. I'm just saying,
I don't care what happened there. I don't think you should burn down a building just because it was the man who, was the judge for the Salem witch trials. Like, you don't burn the building down. No, it's a part of history, and there's things we can learn from history.
They literally rename cities when atrocities happen there. There's a few in California. They're like, we're going to rebrand. We can't be associated.
If you burn the building down, there's nothing there to point at and say, hey, that's where this thing happened. No, once it's there, eventually, over time, it's lost and no one talks about it anymore. There's no remnants of it. There's no history left behind of it.
That's the point.
I know. So like burning down a plantation because atrocities happen there doesn't mean that we should burn all those things down, take down all those statues. No, they should be put there in place so that way there can be teaching that happens from it.
Do you know what they're taking out of the schools for kids to learn?
What's that?
Anything that has to do with that time period. So it is in someone's best interest to get rid of them so they're not landmarks and people can't be like, see, we were terrible people. No, it didn't even happen.
History is written by the winners. So whoever wins rewrites history in their favor or whatever they're liking to be.
Well, that's not what's happening because those plantation owners didn't win. And so if you take out there were no losers and the Confederate Army really won, where are we at here?
The South will live on.
Like, it's so weird because, like, I see that flag and I'm like, you lost, right? Like, that's a loser
we're proud
flag.
People here. I'm being hyperbolic, by the way. I'm poking fun at the idea.
I believe there's some sort of balance between spirituality and logic, but I'm always going to lean towards that logic angle.
Right. And for me, I'm going to be in the middle with both. I'm going to give there some validity to the mind is a powerful thing and give some validity to that there just might be something supernatural. So I'm going to be open to both aspects and not discount one or the other just because one is easy for our mind to wrap around.
Okay.
Okay, so let's finish watching our little clip here.
It's not. It's 30 minutes.
Let's finish it here.
25. We like to fuck around and find out. So what do? We take Annabelle on a world tour. Okay, we're just moving her all over the place. They send her to New Orleans.
Moving her all over the place. New Orleans, man. There's a lot of creepy energy in New Orleans.
I disagree. It depends on what you discern as creepy.
I mean, there's vampires.
They literally had the fire out at one point and it reignited
Little
itself.
clip.
If
Little
that's not
clip.
the ancestors speaking their truth.
Yeah, it's not a little clip. I know, that's what I
Then,
just said.
11,
But I want you guys to see.
10 or
So these are
11
the prisoners that
convicts
escaped, right?
Escape a prison. Okay, there are 10.
That's pretty much all
convicts.
there was to
Some
take from this.
convicted
Hold
of
on.
unaliving people on the loose
This
in
is
New
what I
Orleans.
want you to
Actually, I
see
think they've
right
called.
here.
She would cause chaos. I just didn't think it would end up like this.
Annabelle.
So this is the
a
actual Ed and
Raggedy Ann
Lorraine
doll
Moore.
that's made like thousands
So
of
I
other
wanted
dolls.
chat to get a chance
Except
to
that
see
this
them.
doll
And
was used in
this is
communication.
supposedly
having
the original
seance.
doll. I don't think it
A
is, though.
nurse had
Maybe it
received the
is.
doll 1971 as a
They're just
present,
kind of
Christmas
explaining,
present from
you
her
know, what
mother.
happened. The nurse
And the doll
received the
stands
doll.
about 3 foot
What
high.
we talked about.
Right,
And she would take
exactly.
it to bed with her at night.
So I just wanted you guys to get a little context of who they are. They're not the people that you saw in the movie or whatever. So there's that, okay? So this is the video. This one is short. So there were some YouTubers that while it was on display, and this is what makes me believe that it was the real people. Oh, did we lose it?
They've opened Annabelle's box to investigate whether she's actually haunted or
so
not,
these
and they
YouTubers
found
right
out
here,
something terrifying. Owner of the museum
they
let
were
them
given
open the
an
case for only
experience
5
with
minutes
the
to make this
doll,
meeting
with it
relatively
open,
safe. And they even
and
asked a
watch
priest
and
to
see
say
what
a prayer.
happens.
So after opening the case, there was no coming back.
We didn't want to waste any time that we had to be able to do this.
And you feel threatened or anything like that, you know, don't hesitate to leave the museum for a little bit.
They used the Estes method to communicate with the doll. It's the same one they used to talk to Peggy. Watch what happened.
Annabelle, or any spirits here, you can speak through Colby to tell us a message or to talk with us. Is there anybody here in the museum with us?
200,000?
What? Are you connected in any other way to other haunted dolls?
Everybody against you.
Meeting with the doll showed immediate results because after getting into the car, they had a serious argument and finished recording.
You always believed.
I mean, these guys were seriously traumatized from this.
They've opened Annabelle's
seems
box
pretty real and legitimate to me. This is why I believe that they had the real doll on tour. This, I think, is the real doll right here. I thought it wasn't. There was another image, though, that looked more like it. Maybe that was the wrong image. I'm not completely sure. But I do know that this image is from Ed and Lorraine's basement, where they have all these different artifacts and things that they've gathered over the years. Maybe they're just pack rats and they saw cool things and they're like, oh, it's got a demon, we better take it with us and add it to our little collection. I think that's plausible. Maybe not. I mean, my dad's a pack rat. Okay, my dad wants, if you've got something that he doesn't have, he's got to have it, and he would blame it on the devil to get it away from you. I'm just saying, it is plausible, right?
I think you're way out there with this one.
Why not?
Because, like you said, they were religious people.
It's the devil. Give me your action figures.
You know how I feel about hiding behind God for your bad actions. Own them. Don't say, oh, I did this bad thing because the devil made me do it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's maybe what they were doing. Like, for instance, I have this. Those of you who have been around for the show for a long time, on my desk I have the baseball here, right? Signed by Mike Trout. Now, if I had this and you were a preacher and you were like, oh, the devil lives in that ball, I better take it with me. I better take that ball from you.
People use God to do terrible things. You're proving my point.
And I believe that that is a possibility. Like, I'm not taking that off the table. I'm open to the fact that there are some things that we can explain and we can wrap our head around, and there are some things that we can't. And just because something happened doesn't mean that we just jump straight to ghosts, right?
Right.
We should look at the logical explanation. Why would they have this whole pack rat, display of things?
Have you seen New Orleans? They just do stuff like that.
Well, this isn't New Orleans. This is Ed and Lorraine's basement. All these little artifacts are supposedly.
I got that picture from New Orleans.
Oh, this is from New Orleans?
That's New Orleans.
Okay, well, there is a place, and it's Ed and Lorraine's basement, and we can maybe post a
They
clip
moved
of it
it
later.
though. That was the whole thing. They gave it to this place, and they kept it in that box and gave them the box so that people in New Orleans could go see. You can go see it today.
They got older, and they were like, you know what? We need to make some money off of this stuff.
Yeah,
now.
they're not around anymore.
We've been pack ratting this stuff for umpteen years. It's time to cash in on our
Don't
investment.
you think it would be weird if you were religious and you want to have all this negativity in your basement? Don't you find that odd?
That's why I'm leaning towards the idea of maybe they're just hoarders, and they were like, oh, that looks really cool. I want that. It has the devil in it. Let us take it off your hands. Free of charge.
Sure.
It seems plausible.
No, it doesn't. All right, next doll.
Okay. All right. So,
yeah, I know.
Here's my thing: is I don't think that the real Annabelle went on tour.
Whether you believe it or not, do you believe the stories about the doll? That's what it's about. Whether it went wherever, wherever it came from. Do you believe that this doll had a demon in it that was literally just harassing and terrorizing people?
I do, based off of the video of the YouTubers. Because the YouTubers,
this is where we are.
I mean,
but there's history. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but what I'm saying, there's a lot of history of people like, oh, we visited in the doll. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
right. So there's a long track record of things happening. Obviously, YouTubers can be YouTubers, right? We're YouTubers, you know.
Right.
I make up things on the fly all the time just for show value, right?
That's fun.
It is what it is. But, you know, let's not... You know,
because when you bring religion into anything, you make it a touchy subject.
I understand that. I just think that
not just for me, I don't care.
There's some validity
that don't want to hear that.
There's some validity in the fact that it may have been the real Annabelle doll that went on tour. There's some validity in the fact that it possibly does have demon possession because of what happened with the YouTuber. And there is some validity to the fact that it may or may not have gone missing and is still out there lurking in the shadows underneath your bed, waiting, watching.
In this world, all of those are very, that could happen. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the main thing here. It's like, let's think about it. Let's have an open mind, chat. Like, let's, you know, explore every possibility that it possibly could be, because we don't know. We have no hard facts here.
No.
That's the fact of the matter, is there is no hard facts.
Everything we talk about, there's no hard facts, whether it's alien, ghosts, whatever conspiracy theories that we are jumping down, there are no hard facts.
Well, the moon landing is a hard fact.
That's
okay. We definitely have the video footage of something happened.
So
millions of people saw it.
So what I'm saying is it's all speculation, and we all have to come to our own logical.
Right. And the idea is for you as the viewer to decide for yourself. We're not here to tell you what to think.
We just decide what we think and our opinions, and everyone has their own.
You know what I think? Little girls are the devil.
That might be true.
The devil is in the doll.
I'm raising psychological warfare. All right, bring up Robert the doll.
All right, Robert the doll.
This story is a little older.
This one's freaky. Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
It looks so sweet and innocent, but oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so the story of this one.
Hold on, let me just set the room real quick. I had never heard this story.
I did.
Until you told me about it. And then I started deep diving into it for the show. And I got a little freaked out. Okay. Yeah. This is crazy, chat. If you haven't heard
Robert
of
is
Robert
something
the
else.
Doll.
Robert the Doll.
So tell us, who is Robert the Doll? I'm sure most of you haven't heard of Robert the Doll. I would say Robert the Doll is creepier than Annabelle.
Oh yeah, and not only that, Robert's been around for a very long time.
Right. So tell us about Robert the Doll. Who is he? What does he do?
So Robert the Doll, this toy was given to a little boy in 1904.
1904.
He was originally given to Robert Eugene Otto, a young boy from the Key West.
So that's 120 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah,
121 years ago. Dang.
The doll was manufactured in Germany and was brought to Otto's grandfather during a trip abroad. They speculated that the doll may have originally intended for a window display, and it was not to be for sale, but the grandfather convinced them to sell it to him. A variation of the origin story claims that a Bohemian servant, like somebody off the street, is the one who sold it to him, or practiced voodoo, cursed the doll, you know, the same old rhetoric.
Voodoo.
Right. It comes
Voodoo,
back
voodoo,
to that.
voodoo.
That kind of rhetoric. Young Robert Eugene Otto became so attached to the doll that he gave it its own name and instead on being called Jean. So this boy goes, okay, this doll is named Robert and my name's Jean now because I love this doll so much.
Wait a minute. So let's jump down the rabbit hole a little bit here before we go any deeper. So the little boy's name's Robert.
Robert Eugene, yes.
Right. And so the boy says, I want the doll's name to be Robert and for me to be Jean.
Right.
Now that is a sign of demonic possession.
Well, that's a sign of some kind of connection where the doll, either the doll's like, I want your name, call your name.
Right. Well, or basically he's like, I no longer live in my body. I'm a vessel for this entity to take me over. And now I reside in the doll and it has possession over me. So that is,
it is odd.
Sign number one.
It is odd for the little for a little child to be like, I'm Jean now. The doll is Robert. Like I don't know if my 5-year-old came up and said that to me. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little weird, but sure, son. Like, I don't know how I would react to that.
Every time you say Jean, I think of Jean from Bob's Burgers going a jiggly, 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 jiggly.
Anyways, as a child, Jean would often blame any mischief or misbehavior on the doll, saying Robert did it when toys were mutilated or objects were overturned in his room. Neighbors, according to legend, neighbors claimed to see the doll moving in the upstairs window when the family wasn't at home. The Ottos and their guests also reported hearing giggling and seeing the doll's face expression change wherever the doll was.
Okay. Let's rewind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So the story that I read about it is basically the doll was doing weird things and moving on its own and creepy, weird things were happening. So they locked it away in the attic.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, that wasn't just the only case. The incident that occurred for that to happen. Okay. So one night after